more importantly over everything was I would have not set boundaries on that week because I'm making this, executive decision for everyone. That's not right of me.
Zach, I have to ask you, going into overnights, I know you spent time with your buddy Sean Lowe, and we know Sean is infamously, chose not to have sex in the fantasy suite. How much of his advice did you take going into that, and how much did that weigh into the decision you made?
So Sean, had been someone from, the very beginning that has been so supportive and helpful throughout all of this, giving me advice and support. And when the week of overnights came, we had that time to talk, and I was starting to freak out. I just knew of this infamous week, this historical week on this show, and I wanted to go about it the best way I could. I didn't know if there's a right way, a wrong way. I didn't know. And I did pick his brain, and he informed me of the way how he went about his week that way. And, he has this loving family and a beautiful wife, beautiful kids. And in my mind, I was like, you know what? Like, you did that, and that really worked for you. What could go wrong? And obviously, as we saw what transpired, a lot went wrong. And obviously his was for different reasons and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, he's, someone I trust. He's an intelligent dude. I mean, so someone so trustworthy. And I took what he was saying and almost just took it too literal because I was just grabbing at anything I could to help me through this mind-boggling week.
It did seem like you went into it with great intentions, which is what sucks because it, backfired and your own kind of words bit you in the ass a little bit. What would you have done differently? Would you have maybe listened to what Ariel said and had it more of a conversation versus like a declaration? Did you agree with that?
Oh, I totally agree with what Ariel was saying. But I think more importantly over everything was I would have not set boundaries on that week because I'm making this, executive decision for everyone. That's not right of me. And that's where I failed myself. I failed the women. And that's when looking back what I would have changed.
All three of your finalists seem to have similar reactions, maybe a little shock. I've been joking. You might have been the first Bachelor who had three women that would have been okay with you doing whatever you wanted, and you set the precedent early. But Kaity, for you, what were your expectations going into that? What were you hoping Zach would have done that week?
I mean, it's hard to say because obviously I wasn't in his shoes at all, and I think he has such an amazing heart, and he didn't want to muddy the waters, but obviously in turn it did happen. But I think just going into fantasy suite week, I just wanted to use that time, that intimate time, to just get to know each other more and on a more emotional level, and just see what we're like off the cameras too. Yeah. But yeah, I was just looking forward to that. And obviously I was really excited for our day date and the kayak and whatnot. And obviously that turned a little sour pretty quick. But in Bachelor world, things don't always go as planned. So I don't think I really went in with a whole lot of expectations. I was just hoping it would go smoothly, and we hit a hurdle for sure. But in the end, we came out stronger.
Yeah.
A little bit of time hearing about what happened with your feet submerged in the water and the flies flying around you in the rain.
Literally a swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst conversation and a swamp.
It looked fun. Speaking of fun, Gabi did claim last night that you guys agreed to keep what happened between the two of you. Is that how you felt that it went down, and what happened there?
Yeah. So, that whole week of me setting that precedent, when things did not go the way I thought they were going to go, I felt immense guilt. But I also didn't want to hurt Gabi or freak her out, and just let her know, hey, I feel really bad about this because of from what I personally, did of me going against what I thought I was going to, do. And, in that moment, I told her, I was like, okay, yes, this can be a secret. And the guilt ate at me, and thinking that, there's an engagement right around the corner, and I'm holding in a secret. Like, I don't know. That is the scariest thing. That's not who I am as a man. That's not what I want to be, and hold secrets and not give the full truth. So obviously it caused a lot of pain though, and that I don't take away from that. And there's several ways it could have gone different. And I hope Gabi knows that, like, the intentions were as pure as they could be, and I did not want to hurt her on that.
There comes a point in any season of the show where the Bachelor or the lead has to kind of start thinking in real world terms. Like, how am I going to explain my actions, or what is it going to be like when the person I do pick watches it back? Do you think there was part of you at that point was maybe starting to prioritize Kaity and was like, I gotta let her know what happened because she is the one? Or were you not thinking like that quite yet?
No, I wasn't thinking like that, and so much in advance, I'd say, because every moment counts. And I was very adamant about that, like every conversation, every time you have together, you have to live in the moment. And with that, like, I tried to do my best and compartmentalize every relationship separately, because I think that's the best way that, like, I was, able to just look at each relationship and see, what was the best for me. And then also focus on you and all the other relationships. So.
And I mean, Kaity, is it fair to say you were happy to find out when you did? Because then you got to kind of live the rest of your part of the journey, at least knowing everything. And when you accepted a proposal, you were clued in. Because I think a lot of times the person who ends up, they find out later, and that doesn't always go well.
Yeah. I think in the time I was blindsided a little bit. Not a little bit. I was very blindsided, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
Well, you are obviously friends with Gabi and with Ariel, and you guys kind of posted an Instagram last week, a little bit solidarity moment.
Yeah,
what did that mean?
I think it was just us showing that us women are there to empower one another, as well as uplift and support each other in such a foreign situation. And we just wanted to really show viewers and Bachelor Nation that we are there for each other through the hard times.
And what was your reaction to Gabi's kind of iconic moment getting out of the van last night and saying, don't do this to Kaity, don't make her stand in the mud? Clearly she had you on her mind. What were you thinking when you saw that?
Gabi has a heart of gold. She actually told me that right after we finished filming. She's like, oh my God, Kaity, I don't know if they're gonna air this, but this is what I did. And we were just howling about it. And we both have each other's back. Throughout the whole season, we confided in each other. And I think even in that final episode, you see how much, I thought of her as a woman. And I even told Zach, I was like, she's an incredible woman. You have a tough decision to make. So yeah, I honestly, such amazing friendships out of that season. I'm so grateful for.
And you think you'll be able to stay friends after everything that went down last night?
Oh yeah, we've already had trips together. We've been to Florida. A lot of the girls came to Austin for the premiere, and me, Gabi, Ariel, Jess, and Mercedes were actually going to Miami at the end of the month. So end of April. Yeah, we're all very tight.
Zach, for you, I mean, another point of contention, I feel like that's been brought up a little bit, is why didn't you break up with Gabi sooner? I mean, I think you said you decided it was definitely going to be Kaity during your date. And then the way we saw it, Gabi's date was next. Do you have any regrets about not ending things there, or?
See, that's the beauty of reality TV and editing. I'm not gonna lie about it. I didn't know when I left the Last Chance with Gabi. I truly didn't know. And it was the moment I saw Kaity after, it was like, yeah, this is my wife. Like, there's not a doubt in my mind. But yeah.
One thing you guys got to do also that was cool from the beginning was the overnight date, the grocery shopping, just like more things that I feel like are like real life dates versus always like the Bachelor fantasy helicopter fun stuff. Do you think that was a good like advantage for you? Because sometimes compatibility ends up being the reason couples don't work out, but you guys got to do some real world stuff together early.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a lot of fun and we enjoyed the more realistic aspects of the date. But I think no matter what we would have done, we still would have had that chemistry, whether it was in a helicopter or we were just like digging holes together. I know it's a weird thing to say, but like truly, like no matter what, we just enjoyed each other's time together. And no matter what we were doing, it was in our conversations that meant the most. And that's what built us as strong as we are now.
Yeah. It built that trust. And we just did real life stuff. Sure, it was followed around by a bunch of cameras, but we kind of felt like it wasn't like that. It felt like it was just you and I.
Yeah. Well, I have no cameras for that.
Well, they're always there. But.
Yeah. I would try and like angle myself away from the cameras just so I could like solely focus on him. But it's so hard. There's so many cameras and it's weird.
It's so weird.
Well, being the Bachelor, it's not easy. And there's always going to be criticism and critiques. And I feel like, Zach, you've gotten a little bit of flack for some of the faces you've made, maybe during more intense moments or when women were expressing some concerns. There's the face. How do you feel about that feedback and just overall what people have said about the season?
I mean, hey, I blame my genetics. I can't hide my emotion. I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely wears his heart on his sleeve for sure. And I think that's what's also great about you too, is that you can't hide it and you're not faking it. You're not bullshitting anybody. And if he's not feeling it with a woman, he wasn't feeling it. And, you know, he didn't. Yeah.
It's not something I realized in the moment either. Like I was alerted of this because of the memes and I was like, no way. I don't know how long I've been doing that.
Yeah.
But I've never had that face with Kaity.
Yeah, I was going to say, from Katie's perspective, watching it back, your face was pretty much glowing the whole time.
I couldn't stop smiling. And I still can't.
What are you guys most looking forward to about living together?
Hands down, just the little things matter. I think it's going out to dinners, going on a hike around Austin, going to a coffee shop. We've been asked this question a lot, and we always joke, and we got made fun of. Like, Jesus, just put them in front of a coffee shop.
Get them some coffee.
Yeah, guys, how much coffee do you need? But we're serious. It's like that's what we're looking forward to. I mean, we have some exciting plans and some trips for sure for this year. Portugal being one of them. But other than that, just little things.
And where did the 2025 wedding date come from? Is that something you really said, or are you just trying to punt it so we don't ask you too many questions about that?
Funny. No, so the entire show has been very expedited, right? It's 2.5 months, and we've been living in hiding essentially for the past 5-6 months, and everything has been so rushed that it's finally our time to just relax. And there's some things that we want to do before taking that leap. We have the rest of our lives. To build a family, to get married, to have a house. So it's like, let's just focus on you and I in Austin, and the rest will happen. And it's always flexible. There's nothing contingent.
Well, congratulations again, and thank you for answering some, hard questions. And congrats, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you so much.
For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.